All right, let's go ahead and go over some of the aspects that we have here for this Delta Math assignment. So right now, the first thing that we will go over would be the Pythagorean Theorem. And again, it says rounding is because our answers are either going to be a fraction or they're going to ask us to round to a specific number, right? So right here, right now, what I notice and what I see is that I have a number here and I have a number here, right? And so what I always want to make sure is I understand my triangle lengths. So I have A, B, and C. A is for short side, B is for long side, C is for hypotenuse. So in this situation, I have an equation for the Pythagorean theorem that's going to be A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Well, I also know that B is missing here. So I'm going to fill in the information that I do have. I have A squared, I do not have B squared, and I have C squared. Well, I want to solve for B, right? So I'm going to end up having B squared be equal to 25 squared minus 7 squared. The reason why we do minus 7 is because in order to get B by itself, we have to subtract 7 from both sides. So what I do know is that B squared is equal to 225 squared, and 225 squared will happen to be 225 times 225. That's going to give us an answer. No, I'm tripping. It's 25 squared. So 25 times 25 is 625. And then we know 7 squared is 49, right? So we have 625 minus 49, right? And that's going to give us an answer of minus 49, 576. So what we want to do is we want to hit the square root button, 576, and we want to take the square root of 576, which will give us an answer of 24. So after we take the square root, because this would be 576, and then in order to get B by itself, we take the square root of both sides. So B is equal to 24. So as I have that math in my mind, have that math in my head, I could go ahead and type in my answer here now, that B is equal to 24. All right. All right. So we'll do one more of these just to make sure we understand what's going on and what's happening. Right. All right. Now for this particular problem, what we have is what we see. All right. Now what we have here, it says find the length of the third side, and we want to round to the nearest tenth. So right here, right now, what I do know is I need to write my equation again. So I have A squared plus B squared equal to C squared. I remember that this side length is B, this side length is A, this side length is C. So with C missing, what I have is 24 squared plus 18 squared is equal to C squared. In this situation, in this instance, it doesn't matter if you put the 24 to 18 first because we will be adding them. So I'm going to go ahead and find out what 24 squared is. That's 576 I'm gonna go ahead and find out what 18 squared is. That's 324. So now I go ahead and write 576 plus 324 is equal to c squared. Next, I want to go to my calculator and add those up. Plus 576 is equal to 900. So I do know now that 900 is equal to c squared. Then what I want to do, I want to take the square root of both sides to end up giving me what my c is. So then I go to my calculator, I go to square root 900, and that's going to give me 30. So that now I know that missing side left would be equal to 30. So I'll go ahead and type in my answer of 30, hit submit, and this is how you find the missing side lengths. So again, if you're ever confused, if you're ever lost, you can always scroll down and go through the explanation, or hit example and they will show you some examples at the top right hand corner. So as I hit the next button, show example. So now it's going to go ahead and show me the exact example. Full length is going to explain everything to me on how to break it down, how to solve it, right? So if you're ever lost on how to do the Pythagorean theorem, that is an option. And this is some examples on the Pythagorean theorem.